Keston Hiura looks real good today. Yep, OT Genesis reference right at the top of the podcast. Hiura walks it off. Let's talk about a huge series win over the Braves.
You are Locked On Brewers, your daily Milwaukee Brewers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Look, it's a catchy beat, man. It's a great walk-up song. In fact, it's Craig Counsell's favorite walk-up song on the team this year. Welcome in to Locked On Brewers, everybody. I'm Dominic Cotroneo. Thanks for making us your first listen of the day. If this is your first time finding the podcast, go ahead and hit subscribe button. Wherever you get your podcasts, we are available everywhere and on YouTube. We have all the video versions of these podcasts available there as well, and are in the Hopper series, where I take deep dives into the stats and analytics within the Brewers. You got 2 episodes up. Next one's coming out this weekend. So, wow, what a win for the Brewers. 7-6 the final score. They defeat the Braves in the finale. They win it in extras. They take the series as well, so the season series ends up even, 3 games apiece. And it was Keston Hiura getting the walk-off 2-run homer, his second career walk-off home run as a member of the Brewers. So a lot to unpack from this one. First off, we're going to recap the game and the big moments. Then we're going to go into 5 moments, in my opinion, that I think are forgotten because of the way this game ended. The 5 biggest moments of this game that you may have forgotten about. And then finally, we're going to look ahead to tomorrow, because the Brewers are off today, taking on the Washington Nationals to open up a 3-game series with the Nats. And that series opens up tomorrow, which will be back to normal 7-10 first pitch for the weekend. The Nationals have not yet announced a starter. It'll be Eric Lauer getting the ball tomorrow. But it's all about yesterday. The Brewers improved their record to now 24-14 on the season. The Braves fall to 17-21. Brewers had 7 runs on 10 hits. They did commit 1 error, and it was a key one. They left a total of 9 runners on base. As for the Braves, they had 6 runs on 10 hits, no errors. They left 8 runners on base. The winning pitcher for the first time in his big league career is Trevor Kelly. Sidearmer up in the big leagues for the first time since 2020. Right place, right time. He pitched the top of the 11th inning, and then Hiura ends it in the bottom of the 11th. The loss goes to Jesse Chavez, and a blown save to both Kenley Jansen and Darren O'Day in this one. Let's jump into the recap. What was supposed to be an ace-off turned into a 7-6 extra inning thriller. So Corbin Burnes versus Max Fried, both pitched fine, but definitely not the dominant type performances that we were expecting. Let's jump right into Corbin Burnes and the way things started. Didn't get a strikeout in the first inning, had an infield hit in the second inning. He was rolling along just fine. Then a 2-out rally forms in the third inning. Acuna hit by a pitch. Olsen manages a single on a great at-bat, an 8-pitch long at-bat. And then finally, on a 3-2 pitch, hangs up one to Austin Riley, a no-doubt blast to left center field to make it a 3-0 game for the Braves. And then followed that up with a 1-2 count against Marcell Ozuna. He blasts one to left field as well. So in the blink of an eye, the Burnes and the Brewers went from 0-0 game, 2 outs in the third inning, to, oh my goodness, down by 4 runs. And now Corbin Burnes has allowed 8 home runs all season this year. He allowed 7 in the entirety of 2021. He's in the zone a lot this season. Maybe that has something to do with it, but maybe that could be a topic down the line of why the heck is Corbin Burnes suddenly allowing a ton more home runs this season as opposed to last season. He would get back on track. He would complete 6 innings in this one. Only allowed 3 more hits. Also hit a batter as well. Not quite the dominant Corbin Burnes-esque start we're so accustomed to. 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs all earned. No walks though. 5 strikeouts and the 2 home runs allowed. As for the other side, Max Fried, he was looking as dominant as ever, but the Brewers were getting base runners against him. A double in the second inning by Hunter Renfroe, but he made a tout blanc error, running the bases at tout blanc, just something that can't happen. So he runs into an out in the second inning. Brewers can't get anything there. A heck of a double play by Matt Olson on a line shot by Kolten Wong. So There would have been maybe a double down the line. Maybe it scores Caratini from first. Instead, it's a double play that ends the third inning. Then the Brewers got on the board, though, in the fourth in response to what the Braves did in the third. They get 2 runs on the board, back-to-back RBI singles by Tyrone Taylor and Rowdy Tellez. Mind you, the Brewers had not had an RBI since Sunday against the Marlins. I mean, I'm not saying they hadn't scored a run, but I'm saying they hadn't had an RBI because the only run that scored on Monday was on a wild pitch. That's not an RBI. They were shut out on Tuesday, and until this point, they had not scored a run. So it had gone 83 straight plate appearances for the Brewers without getting an RBI. So Tyrone Taylor breaks the seal. He gets an RBI single. By the way, Tyrone went 2 for 5 in this game, so maybe he listened to yesterday's podcast. He also scored a run and drove in a run, getting the start in center field. Lorenzo Cain had the day off. So Burns is out of the game after the top of the 6th inning. In the bottom of the 6th inning, though, Max Fried is still on the mound for the Braves, and the Brewers claw one across again. Renfroe strikes out to start the inning. Taylor gets a single into left field, clean single. Then Tellez strikes out, so there's 2 outs, a man on first base, and Mike Brasa, a shot to right center field. And this is going to come up here in just a second, too, but a double into right center field. It scores Tyrone from first base easily with 2 outs. That makes it a 1-run game. And then into the 7th, it was in the hands of the bullpen. And this is when I tweeted, buckle up, this game's going to get crazy. And it certainly did. The first man out of the bullpen for the Brewers was Trevor Gott in the 7th. He allowed a double off the wall by Matt Olson. It was a rocket. I'm surprised it didn't get out. His 15th double of the year that leads the major leagues, but Gott got a pair of strikeouts in the 7th inning and kept the run total at 4. Bottom of the 7th, Brewers had absolutely no answer once again for Spencer Strider. Wow, this kid's electric. 3 straight strikeouts on fastballs. He threw 11 pitches in the 7th. His strikeouts went like this. Caratini, 100-mile-an-hour fastball, looking on the outside corner. Kolten Wong, 101 miles an hour swing and a miss fastball. And then finally, Luis Urias, 99-mile-an-hour fastball. He just let it eat. It was amazing to watch from Spencer Strider. He has had the Brewers number all year. And, well, Milwaukee doesn't have to face him until the playoffs, hopefully. Or maybe hopefully not the playoffs, if the Braves are not in it. Because that kid is going to be a superstar. So both teams get zeros in the 7th. Then on to the 8th inning, Luis Perdomo, in a 1-run game, did his job. A key ground ball double play to Travis d'Arnaud, and a great defensive play by Hunter Renfroe is going to come up in just a second. That ended the 8th inning with nobody on. Brewers can't manage anything in the 8th against Will Smith. They did get a walk, but nothing else really against him. And then finally in the 9th, the chaos began. Devin Williams strikes out the side in the top of the 9th inning, and then at the bottom of the 9th inning, a leadoff walk to pinch hitter Jace Peterson. It was Kenley Jansen on the mound, and Bill Schroeder and Brian Anderson talked about this on the Valley Sports Wisconsin television feed, in that Kenley Jansen was appearing in his 5th game in the last 7 days. The Braves have been working him here in May, and this is a reminder that when you're mad at Craig Counsell, we have news on Josh Hader, by the way, to why he wasn't used in this game. But when you're mad at Craig Counsell for not using his main horses, maybe you were mad that he was using Luis Perdomo in the 8th inning as opposed to Devin Williams and saving Devin for the 9th. Well, we learned after the fact that Josh Hader was actually not at this game. He had to leave in the middle of the game due to a family emergency, so we hope all is well in the Hader family. But for Craig Counsell getting flack from some fans throughout other times, not in this scenario, of not using his main guys in close games or even when you're trailing, the reason is this. We just saw a direct impact of Kenley Jansen being overworked over the span of the last week, going on back-to-back days, no days rest, and blew the lead. It was his first blown save of the year. Finally caught up to him facing a good team. So the Brewers get the leadoff walk with Jace Peterson pinch hitting. He steals a base during the at-bat with Victor Caratini, but Hiura flied out, Caratini grounded out. So it's still just a runner on second, 2 outs. The tying run is right there for Kolten Wong. And what a battle he put together against Jansen. He survives cutter after cutter after cutter after cutter. He's one of the best closers in big league history, and that is not an exaggeration. I know you see all the negative headlines from him in Los Angeles. He is one of the best closers in big league history. And what an AB by Kolten Wong to get the RBI triple on the 7th pitch of the at-bat to tie this game. Down to their last strike, they got it done. And Dansby Swanson, though, spoiled the momentum. Luis Urias tried a bloop one in the center. It did not drop. So we go to extra innings. Both teams trade a run in the 10th. And then the Braves get a run in the 11th off Trevor Kelly, first batter, with just a worm burner up the first base line by Travis d'Arnaud. And then finally, Keston Hiura, the home run to win it for the Brew Crew. Let's talk about the 5 most important plays from this game. Before we do that, I want to tell you about our friends at Built Bar. Only 140 calories, 17 grams of protein, and only 7 grams of sugar in their brand new brownie batter puffs. You heard me right. Brownie batter. Look, everyone's heard about cookie dough. Everyone's heard about now the birthday cake puffs they got going on. But Built Bar is taking it next level with brownie batter puffs. I love brownies. You love brownies. So imagine if you can have a healthy brownie in the form of a marshmallow that's infused with protein. That's exactly what you're getting with the Built Bar Puffs. Brownie batter Built Bar Puffs. You can get their promo code LOCKED15 at BuiltBuilt.com to get 15% off your order. Again, the promo code is LOCKED15 at Built.com, and you're going to get 15% off. 5 most important plays from this game that you may have forgotten about. Let's start with chronological order here. Let's go back to the 3rd inning. Ronald Acuna Jr. in the box. 2 outs, nobody on. First pitch, swing and a miss strike to Corbin Burnes. And a pitch comes in time, kind of buzzing the tower. Barely grazed the jersey. Quite frankly, no one was really sure if it actually hit him. It definitely did not hit his elbow guard. It barely got a button of his jersey. And even he didn't know if he was going to hit by the pitch. He was just kind of walking leisurely up the line, expecting to see the Brewers challenge it, expecting to see, all right, well, yeah, they saw it. That means I probably didn't get hit, because it seemed like from his body language, he didn't think he was hit. But it turns out he was hit. Why is that significant? Well, the next 3 batters all reached. It was the 3-run homer and then the solo homer back-to-back for Riley and Ozuna to end up taking the lead in this game for the Braves. So that hit by pitch, it did look like it grazed the jersey. Even if the Brewers did challenge it, I don't think it would have been overturned. But just that lace of a button, that little smidge of contact, was one of the first plays that you might have forgotten about in this game. So that extended the inning. Now let's go to the 4th inning, the next most important play, in chronologically anyway. Christian Yelich at the plate after a leadoff walk to Luis Urias. Yelich hits a ground ball to the first baseman, and they tried to turn 2. Yelich looked like he was going to be dead to rights about halfway up the line. Looked like there was going to be no chance he beat this out. Then he hit a second gear, and he beats out what would have been a double play ball. Instead, uses his speed, stays alive, so 1 out and a runner on first. Why is that significant? Well, the rally began right after that. A Hunter Renfroe single into left field. It put runners on first and second. And then Yelich would score on the RBI single by Taylor. And then Renfroe would follow on the RBI single by Tellez. If Yelich doesn't beat out that ground ball, I don't know if that rally forms in the 4th inning for the Brewers to punch back and get on the board and feel competitive again. They were down 4-2 through 4 innings in that one. Next on the chronological list here, let's go ahead to the 8th inning now. 8th inning, it's Luis Perdomo on the mound. Just got a huge double play against Travis d'Arnaud. That's not the play. Dansby Swanson at the plate. He has been a thorn in the Brewers' side this series. He lines one to deep right field, and Hunter Renfroe makes a terrific catch, crashing into the wall to keep a man off extra bases. It would have been a double, would have been a key insurance run if he ended up crossing against Duvall or Demerit coming up after him. Huge, huge play by Hunter Renfroe to keep Swanson off the bases. Okay, that's 3 plays that are already super important in my eyes from this game so far. Now let's go ahead to the 9th inning. Okay, the 9th inning, next most important play in order. This is 3 straight batters, okay? This is why I think this is super important. Devin Williams struck out the side so casually. It was absolutely a masterclass of what he did against Duvall and against Demerit and then against Acuna. We saw him on Monday night get 3 consecutive strikeouts on fastballs. He was back to his air-bending ways yesterday. 3 consecutive strikeouts, all on changeups. He is finding his groove again. Y'all wanted to option him to AAA after having a clunker a couple of games ago. He is still one of the best relievers in baseball. No one is a robot, and he is absolutely feeling it right now with the fastball on Monday and the changeup here yesterday. He struck out the side in the ninth. He has now struck out 6 consecutive batters. And oh, by the way, he was really feeling it against Miami too. So he is really rolling right now, finding his footing now in May as the season starts to get going. So that's 4 plays. What's the 5th play that is most important to remember about in this contest? Well, let's fast forward now to the 10th inning. And this is more of on the negative side of things or game management of how things worked out. Of course, placed runner and the way things work out, the placed runner is the previous out of the 9th inning to be the runner on second base. So that was Luis Urias for the Brewers in the 10th inning. Leading off, it was Christian Yelich. He fights one off, gets a single up the middle, but it holds Urias at third because he had to make sure that ball dropped in front of Duvall in center field. So it's runners on the corners, and then Renfroe manages a deep sac fly to left field. That's not the play. The play is during Tyrone Taylor's at-bat, Christian Yelich stole second base. Why is that important that he stole second base? Because that meant the pitcher at the time, Darren O'Day, could attack the righty, Tyrone Taylor, and he ended up striking him out. Darren O'Day is in there to face the righties. And with Rowdy Tellez on deck, they could intentionally walk Rowdy because they wanted to have the favorable matchup with Jesse Chavez against Jace Peterson. Cutter's trying to bore in on him and get a fresh arm in against Jace Peterson, try to have a new look against him. I thought that was significant, that it opened the door to have the intentional walk to Rowdy Tellez and instead of giving him the opportunity to win the game because Yelich is on second base. I thought that was really significant. Well managed by Brian Snitker to recognize that opportunity and decide to go with a lesser hitter. No offense, Jace. We'll go against a lesser hitter in Jace Peterson than try to roll the dice with Rowdy Tellez. So those are 5 plays I thought that were very, very important that you may have forgotten about in this contest. Let's talk about our partners at BetOnline real quick. They're the number one source for all your betting needs and your sports information. You can find all the latest odds, news, developments. You got basketball playoffs. Both conference final series are underway now. You got Major League Baseball scores. You got futures on there still for baseball. They change all the time. Fights are on there. NFL futures are on there right now. NHL playoffs are on there. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering info. You can head to their website today or use your mobile device to learn all about the trends and get in on the action at BetOnline, where the game starts. Just combing through the box score here, some other notes from this game yesterday. First of all, first extra inning game of the year for the Brewers. They're now 1-0. They actually played in 19 extra inning games last season. They went 10-9 in such games, and 19 is tied for the most in the National League a year ago. They were tied with the Dodgers and the Giants. So the Brewers win this one in extras, 11 innings. They went 5 for 15 with runners in scoring position. Not a bad clip at all. Yes, they left 9 runners on base, but it is what it is. And also, I forgot to mention another pivotal play that I didn't get a chance to mention. I forgot to highlight it. The key fielder's choice on what would have been a double play on Austin Riley in the top of the 10th inning when he hit the ground ball that the Brewers tried to turn 2 on, and Wong threw high to first base, and Hiura had it pop in and out of his mitt, ends up scoring Albies from second, or rather Acuna from second. He had stopped at third as that double play was trying to be turned, but when he saw the ball kick away from Keston Hiura, he goes from 0 to hero. 2 innings later, Hiura certainly relieved to get through that one. But it also addressed, as we are giving props to Keston Hiura today, it's a good reminder of the defense that Rowdy Tellez provides at first base. And it was, did you have a moment when you looked at this infield yesterday? Mike Brasso starting at third, Luis Urias starting at short, Kolten Wong starting at second, Keston Hiura starting at first. That was one of the shortest infields I've ever seen. With all due respect, it's short King Spring, but I just found that funny. And then, of course, Keston Hiura needing just a little bit more of a vertical to keep that ball in his mitt. Would have been a huge play to keep maybe just a runner on third and 2 outs and have a chance to get out of that top of the 10th without allowing a run. Wasn't meant to be, but Hiura ends up redeeming himself in the bottom of the 11th inning. Trevor Gott continues to pitch well. He gets a 7th inning scoreless with a pair of strikeouts for him. Yes, Trevor Gott has a 2.77 ERA, which sounds good if he was a starter. For a reliever, it's a little high, but 13 innings, just a .85 whip. He's got 18 strikeouts in those 13 innings, and better yet, just 2 walks. Trevor Gott, they have found something with him. The downside is he can only go one inning at a time. You don't have true middle relief, but the fact that he can be a fireman, he can stop any rally. He's been inheriting runners well this year. He is going to be a massive piece moving forward. If you don't have him already on your fantasy team, I would go ahead and try to pick him up. So Trevor Gott delivers well. Mentioned it earlier, Josh Hader not available due to a family emergency, so we wish him all the best. Kudos to Trevor Kelly getting his first big league win as well. He gets the unearned run charged to him in the top of the 11th inning because, a reminder, the placed runner is an unearned run. And a reminder of how well this bullpen pitched against the Braves. 5 innings, 0 earned runs, just 3 hits, 1 walk, and they struck out 7 batters in those 5 innings. Bullpen getting back on track, and this, Devin Williams and Trevor Gott were really the only members of the A bullpen that pitched in this game. We didn't see Boxberger, and we didn't see Hader. So something encouraging to keep an eye on moving forward. Kenley Jansen blows a save, pitching in back-to-back days. It's his first blown save of the year. He had been 9 for 9, and he looked dominant yesterday, or rather on Tuesday, against the Braves or against the Brewers. And today, the Braves closer could not manage to slam the door. And it's just another reminder, when you have an elite closer like Josh Hader going 14 for 14 to start the year, and here, Kenley Jansen, one of the best in the biz, is just now 9 for 10, okay? It is not normal to have streaks like this. 28 consecutive regular season saves converted by Josh Hader right now. This is not normal. Enjoy it while it is here in Milwaukee. You are watching greatness every time Haderade comes into the game and pitches. So we're going to talk about Eric Lauer here briefly. He gets the start tomorrow against the Nationals. Again, off day today, so not much happening, of course, in Brewers land, but the Nationals are actually playing at the time of recording right now, and it all depends on who they used in yesterday's game to decide who they will be starting tomorrow, so you may already know by the time you're listening to this episode, but Eric Lauer getting the start, trying to rebound after allowing 3 homers against the Marlins last weekend, and the Zoom ball has certainly been zooming this year for Eric Lauer. He has really found something with his four-seam fastball, complemented by his cutter that's got a couple of ticks of added velo to him. He said previous his last home start, he really lifted like an athlete this offseason as opposed to lifting like a pitcher. He was getting after it in the gym with the chest press, with the curls, with the shoulders. Wasn't so much, he still did arm care and pliability, don't get me wrong, but he was absolutely getting after it in the gym, and that's what he attributes his rise in velocity, in pitch velocity this season. So, in total on the 2022 season, Lauer has 49 strikeouts in 34 2/3 innings. He's got a 35.5% strikeout rate. That's in the 95th percentile in all of baseball. And of those 49 strikeouts, the total is 31 of the 49 have come on fastball variations, whether it's the four-seamer or the cutter. And he's also got 13 strikeouts on the slider this season. Opponents are only hitting 140 off of his fastball this season. Yes, he's allowed 3 home runs on it. 3 of the 6 hits are home runs, but he's still getting a ton of strikeouts on it too. A third of his strikeouts have come on, or more than a third. In fact, about half of his strikeouts have come on the four-seam fastball. The Zoom ball is zooming. He'll get the ball tomorrow for the Brew Crew. Wow, what a fun episode. Love working these games. I killed an entire stack of Post-it notes in this game, working stats next door to BA and to Rock, and I actually ran out of ink on a Sharpie in this game. That's how much we were writing notes and handing them over. Our crew is the best of the best. So much fun to work those kind of games, and 27,000 on a Wednesday day game. How about that? Give yourself a round of applause, Brewer fans. That was a great turnout for the Ace-Off, and what turned out to be an absolutely thrilling first walk-off of the year for the Brewers. And it was the first walk-off since the Daniel Vogelbach Grand Slam against the Cardinals last year. So, good vibes. Keston Hiura still looks real good today. And what a day. What a day yesterday. Enjoy your off day, Brewers fans. We're right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, in your podcast feeds and on YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at LockedOnBrewers. I'm at Dom_Catronio. Brewers and Nationals start a 3-game series tomorrow night at 7:10. Until then, keep on swinging.
You are Locked On Brewers, your daily Milwaukee Brewers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.